Welcome back, Planeswalkers, to another episode of the Hive Mind. My name's Jon. This is the show that I traverse the multiverse in search of other prominent members of the Magic the Gathering community. And while you're out there traversing, I have a couple of stops for you to check out. First off, this show can now be heard in podcast form exclusively on constructedcriticism.com. That's right. While you're there, you can also check out other great shows like the flagship show Constructed Criticism with the likes of Spencer Howland, Seth Manfield, who's a world champion, and John Stern. So go check them out. Also, you could, while you're traversing, usually like what I tell you to do is go head on over to cardsphere.com. That's right. Cardsphere.com is the best place to buy, sell, and trade your paper Magic the Gathering cards. You could also go get their cool swag like hats, t-shirts at txcp.store, which is the official online merch store for cardsphere.com. One last place, and then I promise we'll get on to the guest, and that's inkedgaming.com. You can get the exclusive custom play mats for the Hive Mind and 10th Street Hooligans by going to inkedgaming.com, enter promo code HiveMindMTG, and you could get 10% off your order. Now, without further ado, planeswalking in from Los Angeles, California, the phenom cosplayer, voice actor, and an awesome co-host on something that we'll talk about in a little bit. Got to say something for later. Ashlen Rose, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, awesome. This is awesome. This is special. I love having cosplay. I've made like BFFs with the BFFs, right? Like the Tappy Toe Claws, the Olivias, even Michelle. I consider, she dabbles.
Oh yeah.
And you are just kind of at the top of the game.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cosplaying's amazing, and it is with the Magic community specifically. It's grown into this special family, and everyone's amazing and awesome.
Absolutely. And are you going to be attending GP Portland next week?
I will not be because I have my D&D show, Ravnica the Broken Pact, that I'll be at.
Awesome. Well, I mean, not awesome. That's sad to say, but yeah. But I mean, you've been at plenty of shows. I'm sure if anyone knows Magic the Gathering content at all, or GPs at all, you've seen Ashlen cosplaying as some of your favorite characters.
Yeah, I've done like tons of Nissa, Nahiri, Kasigur, all the things.
Absolutely. So as we do on the show, we like to find out a little bit, behind either the cardboard or the cosplay, and we want to know your Magic origin story, Ashlen.
Ooh, my own origin story. I actually started playing on Duels of the Planeswalker in 2009 when that first released on Xbox. My fiance had played Magic before, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta try this game. It's really cool." And I sat down for the weekend, played it, fell in love with it. We went out and bought our first Fat Pack, and I got a Tormagoyf in that and had no idea what it was. What? I know. And then from there was kind of history. On and off, been playing it since then, and have been hopelessly addicted. That
is crazy. So, I'm trying to think. So the first Duels came out when Zendikar was out?
Yeah, just about. That's why Zendikar, which we'll get to later, but yeah, it's about the same time. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what got me back into the game, because anyone that has watched the show or listened to the show has heard my story ad nauseum, so I'll spare everyone. But yeah, I started back in Ice Age, but I left the game, as many do. I've sold my collection, multiple times. I've left the game, stopped playing, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done with this stuff. And then it just has its way, snaking itself back in your life. And yeah, it was Duels of the Planeswalker that got me back in, because, now you look at Magic Arena and it's just like, that was kind of its like early blood relative, or that was kind of the origin of what MTG Arena is today.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I love playing it, and like the look and feel of it. It's very, it definitely reminds me of what I first started playing with, and it's just really easy to play.
Since Zendikar, that's been quite a while. I mean, that's at least what, 2009, I want to say.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So almost a decade.
Right? Man, I've been playing for almost 3 decades now.
Oh my gosh.
moving on from that.
Next subject.
Yeah. So what is your favorite format, and what's your favorite set?
My favorite format is Modern. Modern
nice.
player through and through. My favorite set is Zendikar, actually. I absolutely love most of the Zendikar set, but especially original Zendikar. Just like that standard, when that was in standard, that was just like, I loved standard back in those days.
Some of my favorite creature types were kind of birthed from Zendikar, and that's allies. I love slivers. I love allies. I love the whole community thing. It's very telling that I have a show like this, right? I like the whole community aspect of not just, talking with people about Magic, but actually playing with Magic. And were you a big allies fan back in the day?
I think I really like Landfall a lot. I played a lot of Landfall, White Weenie Landfall decks, and Eldrazi Green was my favorite deck too.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't play. That was like right before I got back into it. I think I got back into it when Innistrad M13, kind of right before. Well, actually, New Phyrexia was still standard then, and that was. I'm like, I left and I came back. I'm like, what happened to Magic?
Like, what's going on? The power level.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to pay mana for spells anymore. What's happening? Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you have one of the busiest schedules in the community. How much Magic do you get to play? I know you stream, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but do you play any paper Magic at this point?
Honestly, the only time I get to play paper Magic nowadays is at GPs or Magic Fests going forward. I don't get a chance really to play outside of that. Sometimes like some Commander, but like no FNM for me.
Yeah. My next question is kind of a broad stroke question, but kind of take some time to think about it. What is the biggest way that the game Magic the Gathering has impacted your life in a positive way?
I mean, I honestly, like, it's brought me closer. Like, I was not a super social person. I was an awkward gamer / like avoid people type of person growing up. And Magic just helped me become more comfortable with like socializing, and the most positive impact it's had for me is like a lot of my friends I've gotten from playing Magic. Like my LGS back in San Francisco, like they're like family to me. Like I love seeing them and hanging out with them, and that wouldn't have been possible without Magic.
Nice. And you've become well. Okay, so what was the transition kind of from Duels of the Planeswalkers to playing some paper Magic with Zendikar? Starting with that to going, hey, I feel like representing some of these characters in real life. Tell me about that transition from playing the game to getting to what you're, I guess, most known for, and that's the cosplay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's another thing that's affected my life in a positive way, is like my life right now wouldn't have been possible without Magic. So the transition basically was I started playing Magic, and then I also got into anime around the same time. I started going to anime conventions and seeing people dressing up in costume, and I was like, this is amazing. I want to do this. And so I started doing cosplay through that. And then I was like, well, why don't I do this for Magic? And the only other cosplayer I knew who did cosplay for Magic was Sprinkle at the time. And I thought it'd be really cool to do a cosplay with her and get to know her. So it was kind of an easy transition from going from like anime cosplay into trying to do Magic cosplay.
Right, because if I remember, like some of your guys' early characters, you guys both did a lot of anime cosplays.
Oh, yeah. We did a ton of anime, and I think the first cosplay I ever did for Magic was a gender-bent Sorin, and she was Nissa for that.
I have to look that up. I don't think I've seen that Sorin.
It's pretty old. Yeah. No, it's not a lot of pictures are out there of it anymore. It was like one of my I was still new to cosplay, and it was probably not the best built at this point, but it was fun to wear.
I mean, talk about some of the characters that you've done. I mean, you've brought in some of the best legendary characters and Planeswalkers, Nahiri, Admiral Beckett Brass, which was a favorite of mine that you did. Most famously that you brought to life was Nissa Ravine. I never know if I'm saying her name right or not. Nissa, yeah. I'll just say Nissa. So what inspires you to transform yourself and become these certain characters? Like, what's your process of picking which character?
I think when it comes to picking a character, usually it's the art first that attracts me. I'm like, ooh, I really like how this person looks or the feel of this. The second thing normally is like, I like to challenge myself with each new costume, is because I'm constantly learning, and I like learning new things. So when I look at it, I'm like, well, what can I do differently with this character? Like, what new thing, like, do I have to learn electronics or like, to make things light up, or do I need to do resin cast something? So definitely art, and then how it's going to be built, and also the lore. Like sometimes, like some characters I'm not as personally connected to, like Tassiger. I just thought it would be really cool to make, but other characters I really like and like want to just like build them for fun, even though they might not look super cool or whatnot. Like,
what really jumped out about Nisa, because that's kind of been your staple as far as, at least in the beginning. I know you've done so many since, but what about Nisa where you're just like, yep, that's the one?
I love elves. Yeah, I really want to be like, if I could have elf ears and run around as an elf all day, I would. So I was like,
I've seen your streams. I mean,
oh yeah, I was very used on that one, wasn't I? But and like her story has been really interesting. It's had a lot of ups and downs and retcons, and it's been quite. And she was Zendikar, and I started in Zendikar, so it was just like a lot of personal connections that way.
That's true. I didn't even remember that, because if you remember back in Zendikar, which you do because that's when you started playing, they did kind of paint her as not so much like a villain, but a little, not even a shrew, but just kind of cold, to where her progression, she is, ironically opened up like a flower personality wise since then. And she's just become, and a lot of people forget that she is kind of the original, she's part of the Lorwyn Five, where, a lot of people at the time, Garrick was so featured as the Green Planeswalker. I mean, he was just like in set after set after set, but Nisa was kind of the OG, and I liked seeing her character progression. I think they did just as good of a job with her as they did with Jace.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's had quite the ups and downs, and she's super interesting now.
Yeah. And so pirates, and more importantly, Admiral Beckett Brass. I mean, what was the decision there? Because that was an awesome cosplay, and what a cool character.
Oh my gosh, that Beckett Brass is probably my favorite cosplay as well. That was because of game nights. They came to us and said, "Hey, we want to do a cosplay themed episode, and we'd love for you and Sprinkle to build the costumes for it." So we got the art from WotC, and we got to pick. And I was like, well, there's a lot of ropes and it looks pretty cool, so I like to do it. And I like pirates, so I just went with Beckett Brass, and it was amazing. I built that costume in 7 days.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
It was not a lot of sleep, but totally worth it.
And that's the cool thing, and the neat direction that WotC has been taking with the characters that aren't just kind of the young, handsome, or young and beautiful. You get your Arlen Cores, you get your Beckett Brasses, who are these just kind of badass older women, and I don't know. I just thought it was so cool to have, like, that's your. She's very. It's almost like a gender swap of like Jeffrey Rush's character in Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool, and I thought it was cool that you represented her. Oh
yeah, it was so much fun. It was really a pleasure, and yeah, they even have characters like Jaya now. Like, it's really cool to see these strong older women appearing in the sets.
So, are there any characters from Magic's past that you want to cosplay that you haven't gotten a chance to?
There's definitely a couple. Elish Norn is on my bucket list to someday do.
I got to see you standing next to Olivia in the Atraxa getup.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That was insane.
It was gorgeous. And I was like, up until the event, she was messing. I was like, "Are you gonna get it done? Are you gonna get it?" And she's like, "I'm painting it at the booth now." And I'm like, "Go, go."
Well, I mean, technically, you get to boss her around the event then, though.
Yeah, right. Oh, that'd be cool if we could wear them together at the same event. Ooh.
Yeah, we had to hire quite a bit of handlers, because I know Olivia can't see anything in that.
Oh yeah, and Elish Norn, she's completely like done. Yeah, what is it with Phyrexians and not like having eyeballs?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, apparently they don't. They just need their. I mean, Phyrexians are weird and creepy, and they got their own stuff going on. When your skin's exposed, you just go off your nerve work. I don't know. We're getting to a weird place. So, any future potential characters or character types that you'd be excited to represent? Like we kind of talked about or alluded to the fact that they're taking their time and doing, characters like Ashiok, who's like a non-binary, characters like Alesha, who's like the first openly trans character, and Beckett Brass, who's like an older female. Any specific kind of type that you would like to see that you would be interested in cosplaying?
I would like to cosplay because I'm starting to do more gender bend or cosplays, and I think it'd be really cool to do another. If they do like another non-binary character or something, and try to do more of like an androgynous looking cosplay, I think that would be really, really fun.
Because I think the photo that you have pinned to your Twitter account, you were kind of messing around with. That's a male anime character, if I'm not. I'm so not a weeb. I tried, and I apologize. But I like my anime knowledge is like next to nothing.
No, it's totally fine. Yeah, it's an anime character from a volleyball anime called Haikyuu.
And it is a male character, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Woo!
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about what, you and, like you said, you and Sprank were kind of at the beginning. You guys were at ground zero of when Magic cosplay just kind of blew up. Now you have, everyone that we've mentioned. Sydney, Kat is great, Olivia, so many more. How does it feel to have that section of the community represented as it is now from where you guys started, with all these, new fantastic women and men that are producing all these amazing characters and costumes?
Oh, it's wonderful. It really is. Like seeing people, because cosplay is a very vulnerable thing. Like you're putting your artwork together. Like it's something you take the time to create, and then you put yourself in it out there at an event, and it's a very vulnerable thing to do. And I think it's just great to see more people that are excited to do it and showing up in events in the costumes. Even like the little kids now, you're seeing more kids cosplaying, which just warms my heart. I love it.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Again, another Nisa cosplay. I think her name's Dana. She's great. She must be a ton of fun at events. But yeah, and you mentioned a little bit before about the game nights. How was that experience? I know that you and Christine both guested on Brian's channel, Tolarian Community College. How have those experiences been?
Oh, it's been quite an intense ride. I remember when I first did the Tolarian Community College, my first video with Nissa, which was the first of the Office series, I almost didn't do it because I was so worried that that WotC would be very upset by such a critical video of their lore. And so I almost didn't do it, but I decided to do it. And I'm so glad I did, because it was a lot of fun. And I think it just helps like give the community something to laugh at, and really helps like kind of just put cosplay and Magic more out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the Office series. It's great. And yeah, like you said, I think you were #1 on that list. And then I'm sure playing with Jimmy and Josh over at the Command Zone had to have been a pretty fun experience as well.
Oh, they are amazing. I love them. It was a lot of fun, and their production is insane. Like being to go behind the scenes and see how they do what they do is just mind blowing. Like their attention to detail and the care they put into it is astounding.
Yeah, I love those guys. It's almost not fair, because it's like it's like producing content in the corner of my bedroom versus like something that you'd see on actual television. But you can't hate on it. It's the bar, and people like them and Ristic Studies. Sam does just like the best stuff ever, and it's always great to have those kind of pillars and those bars to push your content forward.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about just, like you said, you started with Christine Sprinkle. You guys done events and everything. How is your guys' relationship now?
Oh, it's good. I just saw her for BlizzCon, actually. She came down to hang out, and she's doing great. So it's really good to see her. And she's doing really well now, which is good, which is all I care about. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And she never felt comfortable enough to come back in the same capacity she was in. She owes, the community nothing. How did the negativity, there was a thing that, kind of an A-bomb that went off. I think it's been about a year, a little more now. How did all that affect you personally?
It was definitely a very emotional time for everyone, I think. It was definitely kind of scary. Like I was afraid to post on Twitter or like be very active on social during that time. But I was more concerned about like how Sprinkle was doing in her mindset during that. So I wasn't affected. I was upset and I was emotional because of what was happening to her and my friends. But at the end of the day, I feel like it sucks that it happened, but I feel like it brought the community that much closer together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sucks that it did happen, but yeah, I could kind of see where you're coming from, where it just kind of showed a lot of where people were and who people were. And once the dust settled, yeah, like you said, I think the community is a lot stronger for it. A couple days ago, and not just a couple days ago, I've checked out your live streaming before. You're a ton of fun in the stream. You're playing really well and communicating with the chat very well, something that I would never be able to dream how to to do correctly. So that's great. What was your decision to start streaming, and how's that whole experience been?
Oh man, I started streaming in 2014, on and off, just because I thought it would be fun, to get to know more people and play video games. So why not do it? And then I started streaming Magic, I started streaming Magic because I was like, I like Magic. I want to be a better Magic player. So what better way to get better than to stream? You have people who can give you feedback, and plus it's just more playtime for me. So that's kind of what I got out of it. And then it grew into this community I have now, and it's just so much fun to do. And I look forward to it every time I turn it on. So it's like every time I'm like, oh, I got to get my hit of my Magic stream.
Has it been pretty positive, and how do you deal with negativity when it kind of creeps in? It's inevitable. I mean, there's negativity creeps into everything everyone does. I mean, I saw someone thumbs down a Ristic Studies video, and I almost like passed out. It's just, how do you do that? It's just gross. But how do you deal with stuff like that?
It's been pretty positive. There have definitely been the trolls, of course, but usually a quick ban deals with that. The mods I have are really great and very fast acting, and also the community in general is very loving and caring. It, like, usually chat's great, and if it's not, like, they'll help stand up too if they need to, or just ignore the person. But yeah, I've been very lucky to not have too many instances of that lately, and yeah, it's pretty positive overall.
So gameplay is not the only thing you've been streaming. You've also been streaming some lore reading, which is, I admittedly need to catch up on that. I mean, there's just not enough time in the day for anything, but that is something that I've always been interested in. There was something on the podcast, the MTG cast, which was like, I think it was called like the Unspoken Realms or something. So, and I used to listen to that religiously. So was that an influence, or were you even aware of that, or what kind of got you into reading lore, kind of like a books on tape type stream?
I wasn't aware of that, actually. That's cool to know. I had done, back in the day, I was doing videos for Cool Stuff Inc., and they had a show called MTG Breakfast. And on that show, I actually had a lore segment where I wasn't as much of like an audiobook reading, where it was more like would a synopsis be the right word to say? Like, it was just an overview of like, hey, this is what Zendikar was, and this is what's happening in Zendikar. Kind of like a TLDR. And I did that and really enjoyed it. And that actually got me into Magic lore more. And so since then, I've just been really fascinated with it, and I do voice acting. So I was like, why not read it on stream? So
awesome. Yeah, that is just awesome stuff. I can't wait to check that out more. And then one of my favorite projects that you're involved in, I mean, can we just talk about the resurgence of Dungeons and Dragons lately? I think that is like such a huge part. I think that they finally kind of opened the floodgate in between the two brands, where now you have Magic lore and Magic characters and all that going into D&D campaigns, which, I think at one point, old school veterans D&D players always kind of did their own thing. Like, I used to base my campaigns off of Coheed and Cambria songs. They were bad, but they were something.
It's a great band, though.
Yeah, I mean, think about Coheed and Cambria. It just lends itself to being a D&D campaign. But yeah, talk about the Broken Pact with my BFF, my buddy, Ruben Bressler.
Oh my gosh. So Ravnica the Broken Pact, if you don't know what it is D&D meets Magic. It's for the new book, Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. And so we get to go on the Twitch D&D channel and play D&D in a Ravnica themed setting. Ruben built this entire world and story for us, and it has been amazing. I play a Luxodon cleric named Tuturu. We also have a Minotaur that's in the group, which is another new race that comes with the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. And yeah, we are almost done with this season, and it's been intense. We've had some ups and downs and a lot of deaths. People keep dying everywhere we go.
As they do, right?
Hello, yeah. Ravnica.
So that's all. So I mean, I'm kind of asking. I'm not asking, but I'm asking. So I mean, with the it's seemingly success of the show. Is that something that might continue in the future?
Hopefully.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
I appreciate your candor. Yeah. I mean, it's so much fun. Like I said, the resurgence of popularity in Dungeons and Dragons, especially integrating, magic with it, it's just so seamless. And it's just like, this should have been done a while ago, right?
Oh, it's great. Especially like Ravnica has been a great stat for it too, though, because of the guilds and like trying to integrate that with like alignment and stuff. It really helps help you build your character more, especially if you're like a Magic player who's not familiar with D&D. It's a really great and easy way to get into it.
Absolutely. So what upcoming events, you said, unfortunately, you won't be at GP Portland, but what upcoming events are you most excited for?
So the only event I am for sure going to as of right now is Magic Fest Oakland. And I'm pretty excited for that because one, I get to go back to my hometown area and hang out with everyone. And two, we have a really fun group cosplay that we're going to be revealing there. So
nice.
Very excited. We've already started making our costumes. It's going to be me, Olivia, Tappy Toe, and Athena, Elantris. So we're very excited.
Nice. The whole gang.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are some of your other non-MTG and I guess non D&D related interests, just to get to know a little bit more about you behind the cards?
I love anime. I watch more of it than is probably healthy. I just started watching Asian dramas, specifically one called Meteor Garden, which is amazing. And aside from cosplay and magic, it's mostly doing those things or just like making random things at the house for fun. Just like creating. I like creating things.
So yeah, and I guess that's something that I wanted to touch on too. You create everything. You said sometimes you have to learn how to do like tech on it and everything. So are you putting all that together yourself?
Depends on the costume and the time constraints. Sometimes we make stuff. I also am a type of person who likes to refurbish, quote unquote, refurbish things, or like make something new out of something that maybe was not meant for that purpose. So like sometimes I'll buy something that suits my purpose and alter it. Either way, it's still cosplay. Like if anyone needs to like buy their costume or something, you're still cosplaying. Like don't think you're not, like just because you don't have time to make a costume. But yeah, I like doing a mix of both.
That's awesome. All right. Well, it's that time of the night, not for Face the D20 tonight. I know this is throwing everyone for a loop, but Ashlen, we're debuting a brand new game on the show. I think we're on episode 51. We've switched up the game very seldomly. I mean, Face the D20 is not something that's unseated lightly, but I mean, I do voiceover work. You do voiceover work. So why not put that to good use? Recently, I posted on Twitter, asking everyone, the community, for help for us. What is your favorite characters, your planeswalkers, all that? And this is, why. So prepare for the very first episode of Whose Plane Is It Anyway? So this is now the segment of the show where Ashlen and I are going to randomly select from your guys' Twitter post some your favorite characters, and we're going to improv in character with a couple different scenarios. So this is the maiden voyage, so to speak. So we're going to see how this is happening. So we are going to random generate the characters, and we want to thank the people that put in their time to tell us their favorite characters. So we will be kind of telling, or I'll be saying the names of those people as well. So the first group of numbers we're going to have is 25. So that's Rada.
Ooh.
And 37, which is Shieldred or Liliana. So there will be some gender swapping here, at least for my character. So 25, and that was with Wherewithal. So at with Wherewithal, thank you so much for loving Rada. And my character's was from at Garvin_Norn. Wait a minute, you have Norn in your name and you put Shieldred? This is a problem. I will, well, you're the guest. You get to pick out of 3. Which one would you like to be?
I'm gonna have to go with Rada just because With Wherewithal is for my stream, so I wanna support With Wherewithal, and she sounds fun.
Oh, perfect! And thank you for coming and following Ashlen over here. So that's very nice. I'm gonna have to go because I've wrecked so much face at the EDH tables with my girl Shieldred. I will go there.
Nice.
So let me just set the stage. So this is going to be Rada's gonna walk into a Ravnican diner.
Okay.
And Shieldred is the waitress.
Okay.
All right. When you're ready, my friend.
And scene. All right. You got any Bombat juice?
I'm usually so much better at this. I didn't think Shieldred was giving me my first pick. Bombat juice. Does that have the black oil in it?
I don't know. It tastes like oil, probably. Give me your finest wine, liquor, alcohol.
Where would you like to sit, elf lady?
Do you have any place without anyone else nearby? Maybe a booth or something?
Well, any place next to me is somewhere without someone because they have to sacrifice themselves just by sitting next to me.
Okay, then. Let's go with that.
Which makes me think, why are you still standing? What are you, some kind of a warrior or something?
I am, and I'm very fast on my feet, so don't think of anything funny. Give me my liquor.
Oh, fine. I'll be right back with your order. I'm gonna go put Gex to work. I think he's falling apart in the kitchen. I don't even think it's Gex. Who's the guy with the head? Oh, I forgot. I already screwed it up. And scene. Well, that was something. On to the second. Here we go. Generating the number 9. Who is Ursa. All right.
Okay.
Ursa, this is from Kitchen Table Commander, my buddy Brett. Kitchen Table Commander wants Ursa. And number 4, who's Krufix. This is from another one of my buddies, King of Jank. So, like I said, you get your choice. You take Krufix or Ursa.
Wait, Krufix, God of the Horizon?
Yes.
Okay, let me look up this card really quick. What do you do?
You got a lot of arms and no face.
Oh, okay. And then the other one is Ursa.
Right.
Oh gosh, that's tough. I'm trying to think if I could do an Ursa voice. I'll go with Krufix.
Yay! Good, because I got a really weird Ursa in mind. Okay, so in this scene, Krufix is, this is bizarre now in context. Krufix is about to land the killing blow in an epic duel against Ursa, except that Krufix just came down with a debilitating case of the hiccups.
Right.
And scene.
Any final words, Ursa?
Well, I mean, you got me on the floor. I mean, there's nothing else I could do. I mean, I already got my head chopped off from that Gerard guy, so there's nothing else that a god. What's a god gonna do that Capuchin guy didn't do?
Then,
you okay? Do you need some water?
Just a second. Sorry, this hasn't happened before. Gosh,
I mean, a guy's just trying to get murdered here. What's the deal? What's the deal with the murdering?
I will end you, Ursa.
Well, here, take these power stones. I know they're my eyeballs. Take these 2 and call me in the morning. You'll feel right as rain.
And he slams them together. Blows up the world.
That one turned out a lot better than I thought. And scene. All right. Here's the next one. We got number 17. Yeah, that was a tough one. Good. You were very brave picking Krufix.
Thanks.
The Reaper King.
Okay.
And Ovia. Oh, I don't think I'm saying her name right. She is the green legendary lady from Ravnica. Oh no, from Kaladesh.
How do you spell that?
Ovia is Oviya.
Oh, Ovia, I got it. All right, let's see. From Kaladesh. Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I'll be her.
Okay.
I'm gonna try I haven't done a lot of my like older women voices, so I'll try.
Awesome. And that's from Biker Boy MTG. So thank you, Biker Boy. Or I'm sorry, hashtag Biker Boy GR. And mine is Dragon Lord Salumgar.
Nice.
So, and that's from at Red Deck Tries. So thank you guys so much for your submissions and congratulations, I guess. Okay, so this is the scene. As Dragon Lord, I am a carriage driving instructor.
Of course. On
Innistrad. And Ovia is going for her license.
All right.
So, okay, so scene. So I'll start this one out. Hey, lady, come in my buggy. We gotta go.
Well, okay, but let's not drive too fast now, shall we?
Well, I kind of just lounge about a lot. I'm usually sitting on my throne with my necklace. Sorry about the smell. This kid, kind of mouthed off to me. You got nothing to worry about, though, although you do look quite tasty.
Oh, well, please don't eat me or anything, and I'll try not to run over too many cats.
Sorry that it's such a big carriage. I'm a dragon lord. I got a big caboose.
Oh, that's okay. Do you mind if I bring some servos along? She has and then you look behind and there's 30 servos just kind of chilling.
Nice. Yeah, that's fine. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a right at Kessig, take the Wolf Run because there's not a lot of traffic at this time, and we're gonna try to get to the Gavany Township. There's some tasty clerics out there that very important clerics that I need to meet.
Oh, okay. So how do I start this thing?
I don't know. Where's my handlers? I'm gonna add to my necklace, people. Where's my handlers?
Oh, well, and I'll just start it.
All right. We're buggying.
All right. Oh God, is that a werewolf? Ah! So swerve and run over it on accident.
Hey, lady,
oh,
I'm judging you on this. Oh.
You could add it to your necklace, probably. Swerves to the left.
Oh no! I said a left. I said a right on the Kessig Wolf Run. Now we're going in somewhere else. I don't. Now I'm blanking on Innistrad names. All right.
Scene. Wow. For my favorite plane, I sure screwed the pooch on that one.
I was pretty impressed with the Kessig Wolf Run into Gavany Township. So
they were great cards back in the day. Number 42, which is Garrick. This is from at the card in Ashlen. And then number 33, we have Venser at Andy Alone So. Okay. Well, thank you for your submissions. Madame, would you like to have Venser or Garrick?
Oh gosh. Let's go with Venser.
Okay. I shall be the beast known as Garrick. And then that is this one's pretty funny. At least I think so. I think I'm a hoot. So Garrick has to use the restroom at a Rakdos carnival, but the line is really long. So Venser is asking Garrick to cut the line. We've all been there.
I'm asking to cut in front of Garrick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag would never happen in the real multiverse.
All right.
And scene.
Excuse me, good sir. I need to tinkle and I need to go very badly. Would you mind stepping aside so I can go ahead to the bathroom?
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm sorry, what was that? I don't understand your garish accent.
Listen here, I'm off duty. I've been collecting Planeswalkers' heads.
Wow, this kind of sounds like Silumgar.
I've been collecting Planeswalkers' heads all day, all night, and I just need a break. So, little man, I'm just gonna tell you, it's not gonna happen.
What if I say pretty please?
I mean, if it's just gonna move the line along more, I don't even know why I came here. This is no Cirque du Soleil, I'll tell you that.
Oh no, this is quite above my typical leisurely adventures, but I was here, you know, had to check in on a couple of toys of mine that I'm letting the circus borrow, but we're here and I need to go to the bathroom, so skedaddle.
So where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
I think Dominaria.
Dominaria.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I'll tell you what. This is your lucky day, kid. You go ahead. You go tinkle first. I could see by your dancing and your twinkly toes you need it more than I do. I'll see you in Dominaria tomorrow.
Oh, thank God.
Scene. All right. And our final presentation for you folks. I'm going to hit the generator again. I think we got that number. So 36 and 34. So let's travel up to 36. This is none other than the architect of thought himself, Mr. Jace.
Oh.
At Kalum Bane 1. And 34, which would be Doretti, at the _J Green. So would you like to take Jace or Doretti?
Let me see. Ooh, I'm gonna take Doretti. I want to do Goblin voice.
All right, perfect. So this is actually pretty fitting. So Doretti is applying for the assistant for the Living Guild Pack because God rest Lavinia's soul. As we saw, she is no more in the Assassin's Trophy. And then I am going to be, as Jace, I'm going to be interviewing her for the open position. So we'll start the scene, and I'll just start by saying, hey. So, little goblin bro, what makes you interested in this position as the assistant to myself, the greatest character in Ravnican history?
Well, I saw the ad in the paper and I thought, hey, why not? It's more money, right? And I mean, us goblins, we're not long for this plane, so I thought this might be a little bit safer than, working with those Izzet mages over there.
Well, whoa, I mean, you're really goblin-y. Well, what are your qualifications for the job? I need a little bit more than you just being a little goblin with no legs and this cool little tripod thing.
Well, I'm very creative, as you can see, with the tripod thing, as you would call it, I am using right now. And I'm pretty quick on my feet. And yeah, I mean, what better person to have running things for you and helping you out than a goblin, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, now that you put it that way, bro, I guess that's a pretty good. I just got one more question for you. When was the last time you broke something?
Well, define broke.
Well, there's not too many people looking for the job. You seem like a pretty cool goblin dude. Can you make a good cup of coffee, and just as long as you're getting me a cup of Ravnican coffee and getting my hair comb, I guess we got a deal.
Oh, I can absolutely do that.
All right, little goblin bro, you're hired. And scene. So that was Who's Playing Innocent Anyways, brought to you by the very talented, awesome Ashlen Rose and the less talented myself.
Oh, but they were amazing.
So, yeah, any upcoming projects you could tease or spoil for the group?
I think the biggest teaser I had was definitely the Magic Fest Oakland group cosplay we'll be doing. and it's definitely Planeswalker themed, and it is going to be very, very fun and exciting. Aside from that, product-wise right now, we're kind of wrapping up for the end of the year, so I don't have anything else super exciting as of right now, but if you follow me on any of my social media, I'll be sure to post it when I do.
That is a great segue into where can the good kids find you, Ashlen?
You can find me on Twitter at Ashlen Rose. I'm on Facebook at Miss.Ashlen Rose because Ashlen Rose was taken. I'm also on Instagram at @RaritsAshlen because it sounded cool. And Twitch at twitch.tv/Ashlen_Rose.
The incredible Ashlen Rose, ladies and gentlemen. You could find me right here on this very channel. You could also find this show in podcast form exclusively on Constructed Criticism. Please go over to cardsphere.com. They are the best place to buy, sell, and trade your paper Magic the Gathering cards. Also over to inkedgaming.com to get your official exclusive custom playmats for this very show, the Hive Mind and 10th Street Hooligans. Put in that promo code Hive Mind MTG, get 10% off. That's not a bad deal. It's already a great price, but I'll let you guys and gals go over there and check it out for yourself. So for Ashlen, I'm John. Until next time, Planeswalkers, I'll see you all in the multiverse.